Episode 9 is set to include a total of 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the new characters that a lot of people are truly looking forward to seeing in this movie is, of course, the new villain dubbed as Vector Ritsu, as well as the new threat in general that will make Kylo Ren feel vulnerable within the second and third acts of this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the characters of Kylo Ren, Rey, and the new villain dubbed as Vector Ritsu. Specifically, a description of both Kylo Ren and Rey standing in front of the new villain Vector. The next goes over Vector force-choking Rey in mid-air, where it's described that Kylo appears to be angry and throws his ignited crossguard lightsaber at him. It's described that Vector uses the force stasis technique to freeze Kylo Ren's saber in mid-air and turns it back toward Kylo, where Ren jumps and dodges the attack. Another goes over the Vector character dropping Rey and running toward Kylo Ren, with a saber hilt in his hand. It's described that Kylo uses the Force Push ability against him as Kylo runs toward Rey and grabs her hand. It's said to be a moment where Kylo appears to be guarding Rey and protecting her until she is able to retrieve Anakin's lightsaber by using Force Pull. The last goes over both Rey and Kylo Ren using their lightsabers against Vector, who appears to have a single-bladed red lightsaber hilt against the two. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that the new villain in this film is going to be quite something else that we have never seen before in a Star Wars movie to date. And that, guys, I gotta give to J.J. Abrams, I gotta give him credit for including a new threat in this movie that's going to really change things up a bit within the sequel trilogy. Now, many would think that a new threat in Episode 9, it's a little too late to do this. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that it's never necessarily too late to include a new threat / new villain in an actual Star Wars trilogy, even if it's in the third film of the trilogy. So in this scenario, what's really intriguing about it is that we have an actual sequence where the new villain dubbed as Vector Ritsu is force choking Rey in mid-air, and this is where Kylo Ren appears to be very angry. Now, this could very well signal that there is going to be some kind of Kylo Ren redemption arc through, of course, the love of Rey, or, you know, how he has compassion for Rey. It could very well be the groundwork for the Kylo Ren redemption arc that a lot of people either A, want to see, or B, do not want to see in this movie. So this is all followed by an attack by Kylo Ren, in which he throws his crossguard lightsaber at Vector, where Vector actually uses the ability called Force Stasis and freezes it in mid-air and is able to pretty much, you know, pause the ignited lightsaber in mid-air and throw it back at Kylo Ren, where Kylo eventually dodges the attack and runs toward Rey. Now, this is the moment in which he's protecting Rey, he's guarding her, until she is able to get the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber back into her hands. And this is where the major lightsaber duel begins between the three, where we have both Kylo Ren and Rey using their lightsabers against the Vector character with the single-bladed crimson-colored lightsaber. That's actually a single blade going up against both Kylo Ren and Rey. Now, guys, I gotta say, I am very intrigued about this new character in Episode 9. Honestly, I don't even think they're going to show him in the teasers and or in the trailers. I would not be surprised if they keep it a total secret, visually speaking, until the movie finally actually does release come December of this year. So with that being said, I want to go back to what I said earlier. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about a new villain and or just a new threat in general being in Episode 9, and how it may very well be too late to do something like that in a Star Wars movie. Now, let's not forget there's a great possibility here that this movie is going to be the longest of the Skywalker saga. You know, if you look at what Marvel is doing with Avengers Endgame, how it's going to have 3 hours worth of running time, it could very well be that Disney wants to do the same exact thing here with Episode 9 by giving it a 3-hour running time. Now, to me, I think that's probably the best way to go, because this way it wouldn't be as crammed, and pretty much not as crowded, and you can space things out a little bit more. So a 3-hour movie I think would work the best. But as far as this Vector character goes, we do know that this character is going to be based off of a Legends character within the actual EU. So the expanded universe has a lot of the Sith Lords that are currently no longer canon, and we also know that the other character, Samara, is going to be based off of yet another Sith character that is a female. So these two villains, one of which is minor, one of the other is actually going to be a more major character, that of course being Vector, is going to be somewhat similar to what we saw in Avengers Infinity War, right? Where you have the main villain being Thanos, and then you have the children of Thanos being the minor villains, if you will. It's kind of like that, except minimalized. So, what do you guys think about this whole entire scenario between both Kylo Ren, Rey, and the new villain in Episode 9? What do you guys take from all of this below in the comments? Let me know what you think about that. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, from night to moon, we hear them moans again.